Good day, everyone. We are again back to our show live at Central, and today we will feature another organization here at Central Philippine University, and with us is the APO or the Alpha P Omega. And we have here Regine and Lynn who will formally introduce themselves. Thank you for accepting the challenge, and thank you for saying yes to our invitation.
So my name is Regine Benedict Pet. I am a third year BS Biology student and I am currently the Grand Chancellor of Alpha Phi Omega Zeta Omicron chapter.
So hi, my name is Lee Maria Angela C. Basig. I'm currently a third year biology student and one of the residents of Alpha Phi Omega Zeta Omicron chapter.
All right. So I heard you are the Grand Chancellor and
Yes.
resident. So
Yes.
in every organization there are different name for the position. Some
Yes.
and the very common is the president, vice
Yes.
president. In one religious organization I interviewed, it's captain or vice captain, and now you have the Grand Chancellor. So that's the highest position.
Yes. So a Grand Chancellor is the equivalent of a president in other organizations.
And for resident,
That's
it's
the members.
the members.
Yes.
So we have new learnings today. So there are actually different names for other orgs in their certain positions. We have resident for members, and a Grand Chancellor for president or
Yes.
captain or the like. So what is this Alpha Phi Omega? What is your cause? What is the aim of this organization? Why this organization was established?
So Alpha Phi Omega is co-educational service fraternity. So it aims to provide service to those who are in need, may it be in the university, in the community, and the nation. And Alpha Phi Omega originated in the USA in Lafayette College, Easton, Pennsylvania. And then it transitioned to the Philippines after World War II, which is in 1950 in Far Eastern University, Manila. And Alpha Phi Omega was created by our founder, which is Brother Frank Reed Horton, because he believes that the Scout Law and the Scout Oath is the basis of what a good human must. So Frank Reed Horton believes that since time is evolving, he believes that if you have scouting principles, it is so basically doon siya pwede lang mo. So basically gabati siya nga ang scouting ang biskan ano pa matabo biskan ano pa kadugay sang over 3 years. Amo na siya ang basis kung ano ang mayo nga tao.
Okay. So with that, what is this scouting? How do you define that in your org and even in the outside?
So basically scouting is for technically Boy Scouts.
Okay.
So our principles in Alpha Phi Omega, our basis is from the Scout Law, which is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, and the Scout Oath. And we believe that we believe that if you embody the scouting principle, and if you want to join in our organization, and we believe that as you enter our organization, and we only accept you as our brother and sister if you fully embody those principles that we have taught you.
Okay. So I failed to mention earlier that this is actually a fraternity under the what do you call this? It's under the category of fraternities.
Yes.
So you have also some sororities that's for the female,
Yes.
right? So we other how many of you actually in fraternities? Do you know the numbers?
Currently, I think we are 31 or 32.
So
Yes.
we also have a lot of fraternities. No, the fraternities, the category of fraternities.
Yes. So I think we have I think we have 4 recognized fraternities.
Ah,
in
okay,
the
so
city.
we have 4 of them, no, and the CPU community is welcoming those fraternities as well. And since you are recognized, you went through the process, of course, of applying in the student development, and you have some recruitment processes as well in your organization. So how do you go about it, especially when you know let's not deny the fact that there are some negative notions about fraternities. So how do you go about the recruitment still? I'm not talking about the so-called initiation, but how do you get your members?
So basically, first, every semester we held general orientation if you want to go inside a fraternity. So it's a recruitment per period where present members will scout those who have potential, or those we think who have potential to join our fraternity. And we also accept people that are voluntarily wants to join our fraternity as long as they attend the general orientation. So after they attend the general orientation, we have 3 phases, which is leadership, friendship, and service. So those 3 are the main cardinal principles of our fraternity. And each phases, there are certain doctrines and there are certain teachings that we taught to our applicants. And if we think that you have absorbed those teachings and those doctrines that we have taught you, then that is the time that we can call you as our brother or sister.
All right. So you mentioned that that's your recruitment process, and
Yes.
I know that's just one of your activities. Do you have any what are your other activities? Do you have off-campus activities, the inside the campus activities? What are those?
Yes, we have a lot of outside off-campus activities, mainly community service. Our One of our highlights this year is the Basa Kita project, where it is a reading literacy program for elementary students, where we donated books to them, and we not only donated books, but we also spent time with them. We played with them. We taught those kids who are having a hard time in reading. And since let's not deny, ever since the pandemic came, the reading literacy of the reading literacy of students went low because of that. Since online, and then some public schools went modular learning, and then they expect the parents to teach their children, and then they will just give modules, and then the parents themselves, they have work, so they don't have the time to teach their children. And that is one of the main reasons why I think the reading literacy percentage of our country went down. So by doing this project, we are aiming for the improvement of the reading literacy of the children at least one school at a time.
So that's nice. Now that you are bringing help to the community, and actually that's how the organizations and fraternities work here at Central Philippine University. It is not just about the in-campus activities, the fellowship, the fun, the games and all, or even the learnings inside the four walls classroom, but we also share that with the community, because after all, that's life at Central, and life is shared. And when we say life is being shared, we give a part of us to the community, to other people, and it's really nice for the student development and programs to incorporate outreach. And even though I don't think it's a responsibility imposed upon, but it's the heart that longs for service, that's why we have these outreaches. So thank you for sharing that with us. So how is it to be a member of this organization? Stripping off the titles, to you na lang, Lynn, specifically, because you said you are a resident. So how is it to be a member of this organization?
Well, I guess for me, it could be committed as a member. So basically, being a member of Alpha Phi Omega requires hard work to become one. So the app organization was trying to filter out good quality members for the organization. It's not just about having a good organization, but also it wants to train its members to become a better version of themselves. And trying to be committed, syempre, we have to do hard works. So we can't deny the fact that we have to work hard to become one. So especially for those students, us, we have ACADS, we have other orgs, and then we have the frat. So fraternity needs also our time. So we give importance to it, and yeah. So committed is one of the word that I could describe being a member of that.
All right. So, it's one thing very common to all of the organization and fraternities we have interviewed so far, and that's commitment. Actually, you can have all the talents, you can have all the skills, you can have, everything that you know of, but in the end, if you're not committed of doing this, of doing something, then you can probably let yourself out of that certain organization, because after all, one organization needs you, actually, not just your talent or your potential, because without your commitment, this will just go into vain, and no one will perform that, because your commitment is lacking. That's a very nice link to share regarding commitment. So recently, no, I mean, last year we've been experiencing, or even since 2020, we've been experiencing the pandemic. So how did this change the narrative of you handling the activities, or even maybe that time you're still holding a lower position or not yet a member, but how were you able to transfer all your activities from face to face to online, and then later on, how did you transfer it again to face to face, because we are now actually holding face to face meetings and all.
So ever since the pandemic came, I entered Alpha Phi Omega in 2022, and at that time, COVID was still rampant.
Yeah.
So we were limited in doing activities since COVID still exists, and the fear of vaccination is still there. So some don't even have it, and we were limited in doing our main cause, which is community service. Since, for example, if you want to donate masks or other amenities to our healthcare workers, and then there will be reports that in this hospital there are rising cases of COVID, so it will be cancelled because of our safety. And then mainly we did webinars, especially we did webinars last 2022 around May, where we taught about the misconceptions about fraternities, and we also invited one of the professors in CBA, which is Attorney Mark Bedona,
Yeah.
and that is where he taught in our webinar about anti-hazing law, which is we are proud to say that we are abiding to the anti-hazing law, and we also invited our sister from a national officer, which is Sister Noringo. She taught about the misconceptions about fraternities, like so what does it mean to be a member, like what is fraternity before and right now, and she taught about so before amo ni muna, tapos subong niya magbago na due to laws, which is ang anti-hazing law. And also we invited one of our sisters she shared about women empowerment and fraternity, since there's another misconception in fraternities, which is women cannot enter, or even though there are sororities, so it is not fitted for women, because fraternities are full of misogynistic and toxic masculinity, so women can fit in. So she thought about women empowerment and how Alpha Phi Omega helped her become the person she is today.
So nice hearing that there's no discrimination actually inside the organization, and I hope that all these fraternities and sororities will always and also abide in the new law, because there will be of course some punishment. And aside from that, we consider, I mean, you consider yourselves as brothers and sisters, and
Yes.
you know, even in the Bible we are commanded by God to you know, love our neighbors, and it's everything is written full of love. So that's why it's really important that we don't I mean, we abide with the rules, and we also show this to our members or brothers and sisters in the fraternities or in the sororities. So yeah, that's how you um gave your activities during the pandemic. So how about when we transitioned from that online, and then we are now here in the face to face setup? What's the, you know, did you had some different take on, because yeah, we have the face to face.
Yeah, so we came back on what we used to be before. Since the pandemic has limited us in doing our main cause, which is community service, so we came back. We came back stronger, and we definitely improved. But we still retained our title as the best fraternity in CPU. And so what I mean by we came back stronger is, since the pandemic, we were limited in doing services. We didn't conduct as many services as before, since we are limited. But right now, since everything is face to face, it is much easier now, since we have face to face meetings, and we can also go to remote places without that much limitations. And then yeah, we can interact with people more face to face, and without having the fear of getting COVID, since almost everyone basically is vaccinated now.
All right, so it's nice that we are fully back now. Hopefully, this will go on and on. We will be back to the old normal, but with a twist. Okay, so yeah, stripping off again this membership in the organization. Do you think this joining this fraternity, or even I think you have another organization, so do you think joining these organizations and fraternities help you as a student, no? Since again, aside from being a member of this organization, you are actually still a student. So did this membership help you? First we go with that.
For me, it is a yes. So basically, back then, I was a shy type person before I enter APO. So APO is like a training ground for those people who wants to, tap their inner self to become a better version of themselves. So basically, we have a motto there. So be a leader, be a friendship, and be of service. So basically, APO is like a training ground to become a leader. So we have to spearhead all of our services that we conducted inside and outside of the CPU. And also we promote camaraderie or friendship, so brotherhoods, and also we socializing with those people who are in need, and then the service itself. So basically, it teaching us how to become more productive when it comes to helping other people. It's not just ourselves by learning the leadership itself, but also helping other people. Yeah, that way.
How about you?
So for me, joining this fraternity indeed helped me become a better person I am today. So before I joined, I mostly rejected leadership positions due to the responsibilities that will fall on you, and if something goes wrong, and you will be the first to be blamed. And since Apo molded me into a leader, since it is one of those it's one of the three cardinal principles of Apo, and I never would have thought that I became the president of this fraternity. And Apo gave me the confidence to not only lead in this fraternity, but also to other organizations as well, since I am also currently the vice president for internal affairs for Golden Lions Esports. And for the friendship, I same as Lynn. I used to be a very shy person, and then when I joined this fraternity, since uh, joining a fraternity, especially in Apple, is really different from other organizations. Um, in other organizations, if you graduate, that's it. In Apple, you will fully utilize Apple if you graduated. So we have a lot of brothers and sisters from different chapters. We also interact with them. And let's say you want to go to Manila or Cebu, you just tap one of your brothers or sisters, and when you go there, they will entertain you, even though you don't know each other, so you're basically strangers. But since you're in the same fraternity, you are brothers and sisters. And in services, it is also one of my passions is to serve the community, but I don't know how to do it, or I don't know who to approach. But the former Grand Chancellor, which is Brother James Edward Balmes, is one of my schoolmates in high school. And when he joined Apple, he frequently posts his community service, this and that. So it is one of the reasons why I joined this fraternity, because I saw in his post how they help people, those who are in need. Every time there is a typhoon, like after a few days, they are already there in the area to help them for donation drives, used clothes, and other stuffs that those people need for them to stand to go back up and start again. And yeah, so that's how Apple molded me to become a person I am today.
Listening to your experiences actually of how Apple helped you to become who you are right now. You have sitting here in front of a camera, and later on with audience online. So it's something that would take courage, really. And that's one thing I really appreciate for the organizations and fraternities here at Central Philippine University, because all those things you've shared, actually you will not get that inside the four walls of your classroom.
Yes.
You cannot we are not devaluing the teachings of our teachers, but there's something different from just reading your book and learning from these materials than and going outside and sharing or collaborating with other people, talking with them about certain plans. And also these experiences are something that I really appreciate, why organizations and fraternities were established here at Central Philippine University. So if you don't have one, I think, no, especially if you're lacking confidence and talking skills, look at these people. They are the living testimony of how organizations and fraternities are really helpful as to you, not just as a student, but later on in life as well. Because actually, I am also a product of an organization, and I think I share the same experience with you guys, that I don't really I talk that much, but now here we are. So yeah, I really encourage everyone, especially in the coming semester. We will open the new school year, so there will be exhibits later on, and there will be booths, I hope, to showcase their own fraternities and organizations. So I hope you guys would join as well. So for our closing question now, so how do you see your organization 5 years from now? So of course you will be graduating, and I think you will be graduating 5 years from now. So how do you see it? Will it be still, since you said that there is significant improvement, so how about 5 years from now?
For me, I see the organization 5 years from now as uh, if the members are gonna stick to our values and beliefs, and also the standard in doing the things that we do, we will still be the top fraternity in CPU. And also 5 years from now, we do have long-term plans for it, and one of our plans is to conduct long-term services. So what I mean by long-term services is so it is a community service where the people, the beneficiaries will benefit from it for a long time. For example, water fountains or a mini library, which is actually one of our plans is to conduct a mini library on May 30. And so it is also one of our ways to help the reading literacy rate of our country. And 5 years from now, we still 5 years from now, our principals in Apple will be rampant in CPU since our members right now are really eager in recruiting more members to our organization. And I do hope that 5 years from now, the stigma around fraternities will eventually fade out since right now it is very hard. It is very hard for us to sometimes introduce ourselves as frat members since there's still fear. And when students hear that you are a frat member, so they they have this kind of misconception or stigma around you that you're this kind of person, this and that. So 5 years from now, hopefully the perception of the people when looking at us as frat members are essentially good.
How about you, Lynn?
So I believe that 5 years from now, our organization, our this fraternity, is still striving and also producing more high quality members of the fraternity, and more upcoming services, and also still the most outstanding fraternity here in CBU.
All right. So let's pray for those visions, no, that you are seeing for the next 5 years for your organization, and even the years that will pass by. So thank you so much for sharing to us a glimpse of your organization, and I am really grateful to listen to a different perspective. I actually had been to different organizations when I was in college, but then I haven't been into a fraternity. But with you guys sharing that to me, I think I just had a certain idea, no, of how do you go things about, and other things that you do, especially service, no. I think that's one thing people should think about when they hear the word, or they encounter a member of fraternity. So they should think about that you are into service, that you are into community. So I hope our audience would appreciate that, no. But even though without appreciating and all, when you do things out of love, passion, and that's the thing that you really that you are really passionate about, so I think that's good already. And for the appreciation, that's just something, a reward from the audience. Anyway, audience impact is just 10% in certain contests. But yeah, there you have it, Centralians. We have here the Alpha P Omega. We have Regine and Lynn with us, and thank you again for sharing your stories here at Life at Central.